Wow, it's been a crazy week for us Ukrainians, and today's video I'm going to share my thoughts on the leak of the secret documents from the Pentagon, news about how many defense companies are appearing in Ukraine, the anniversary of the warship that fucked itself so hard that it became a submarine, Russia's powerful army having to resort to ancient tanks, which they used to capture and sink a Leopard 2 tank. But they didn't take any videos, so we have to take their word for it. And of course, a brief update of Russia's 3-day special military operation, of which Russia has almost captured Bakhmut, Ukraine's 56th largest city, every day for 10 months, which is of course a great victory for the incredible Russian army. And of course, some thoughts on Viktor Orban. Okay, so before we get started, don't forget to hit that subscribe and like button. Let's start with the leak of the secret Pentagon documents. You can have all the fancy security measures in place, but sometimes all it takes is a 21-year-old who wants to show off to his 18-year-old online friends about how baller he is to have a massive leak of top secret documents. And in this case, this is exactly what happened. A 21-year-old military serviceman of the National Guard Air Force got arrested for bragging about his intel affiliation in an online Discord chat. Yes, he was bragging about selling classified documents, many about the war in Ukraine. I mean, come on, Jack, if you're going to leak classified information, at least do it on TikTok, where you can also showcase your dance move. Will there be any consequences for Ukraine's army as a result of this leak? Who knows? But Major General Budanov does not think so. It might reduce the amount of intel the US gets from Russia due to possible purge within Russian security agencies, since we know now that US knows everything that goes on at the Kremlin. I sense many falling out of windows and tea drinking accidents coming up soon. Anyway, Jack's probably going away for a long time, and I will keep you posted on any further development. What do you guys think? Do you think that the documents leak will be a problem for Ukraine's counteroffensive or not? Tell me in comments below. Armotech has introduced a series of armored vehicles. We have been at war for 14 months now, and of course one of our key issues is the lack of military equipment that caused a huge problem and allowed Russia to make the gains it did at the beginning of war. Now, with the full-scale war still raging in Ukraine, new defense companies are popping up like mushrooms after rain. That's a Ukrainian saying. I don't know if you guys have that too, but we get lots of mushrooms after it rains. Anyway, enter Armotech, the latest addition to the armor family. They have introduced a new series of armored vehicles, including the UATD Drutska, UATD Cobra, and UATF. These bad boys are created on a wheeled base from world automotive manufacturers like Toyota, Ford, and Dodge. Hopefully they will go through a huge and big testing process, because if there is one thing we know, it's that you cannot trust anything that hasn't been thoroughly road tested. And if they are reliable, I believe that capacity to manufacture will be scaled up quickly. Yes, I do believe that Ukraine has been and is now successfully ramping up its weapons and vehicles production capacity. Anniversary of the sinking of the cruiser Mosqua. Atlas didn't shrug. He probably just snickered when Ukrainian military sank the Russian cruiser Mosqua using the Neptune anti-ship missiles. This Russian warship was sent to go fuck itself near the island of Zmyny by bodyguards. On April 13, 2022, the Ukrainian military detected the cruiser Mosqua standing 120 kilometers away from the shore in the Black Sea, and in no time they launched 2 R-60 missiles which hit the ship. And guess what? The ship's defense against anti-ship missiles didn't work. Either the cruise training was superb, or the cruiser was simply malfunctioning, according to leaked documents from the Russian Navy. I guess that's what you get when you rely on outdated technology and corruption instead of investing in proper training and maintenance. Also, this happens if all the soldiers keep smoking and causing smoking incidents to result in destroying $750 million warships. Anyway, it's now a submarine and you can all go and see it on the bottom of the Black Sea. The army of Russian terrorists began receiving T-55 and T-54 tanks. In other news related to necromancy, Russian occupying forces in Ukraine have started receiving refurbished T-54 and T-55 tanks. For those who don't know, these tanks are literally from Stalin's era. Yeah, they still fire shells, but man, I'm excited to the Leopards to hunt them. The Russians themselves released footage of one of these tanks, likely made by propagandists in the frontline zones under night conditions. The occupiers claim that the tank was filmed in the temporary occupied territories of the Zaporizhia region of Ukraine. Well, armor is armor, right? But we can't wait to see footage of the Russian dusting of their old T-34-85 tanks from the pedestal and putting them back into service. Leopard sunk now in the genre of stand-up comedy. Temporarily leaving Russian occupiers have released a video claiming that they sunk a Leopard tank as a result of their sabotage reconnaissance group operating in the Kherson direction. Yes, that's right, they claim to have destroyed the tank, but because of some issues they had to sink the tank into a swamp. Of course, they conveniently forget to explain how the Leopard crossed the Dnieper and ended up on the right bank of the river, which is currently temporarily occupied. Sounds like another one of their myths and legends, like the Abrams that were supposedly destroyed in the Donbas steppes back in 2014. But nobody has seen any evidence of that. I'm sure it's real because I cannot think of anything that the Russians has lied about. Now, Bakhmut. The Vatniks have been claiming they have captured Bakhmut since September 2022, but they still haven't captured it because of the heroism and brilliance of the armed forces of Ukraine. They have thrown tens of thousands of Wagner mercenaries and convicts, as well as the regular Russian army as well. Now, Wagner is mostly destroyed. At the same time, has been very difficult for the Ukrainian defenders, and Bakhmut has not fallen, basically because of their insane bravery. Glory to the heroes. Viktor Orban. To wrap up today's update, let's briefly talk about how Viktor Orban, my favorite political creature, is still a total asshole. He recently stated that Ukraine is financially not existing at the moment, which is quite ironic coming from the Prime Minister of a country that itself received financial assistance from the European Union. I guess he forgot that Hungary is not currently a warring country. Maybe he should focus on fixing his own problems before pointing fingers at others. And I think that his trouble are just starting, as it looks like there will be sanctions coming against him soon. He picked up wrong side, Viktor. You just betrayed Europe to Russia. High gas prices and now sanctions are coming your way. Maybe you will understand, maybe you won't. I don't care, but you will always be an asshole. Anyway, if you enjoy this video and you want to help me keep improving them, please consider becoming my Patreon or buying me some coffees through the link below. That's it for today, and I will see you in next videos. Slava Ukraini! I think I will need to take private orders for these calming down fall asleep videos, like, I don't know how this, like, they called Viktor Orban is an asshole. Viktor Orban is an asshole. That could work.